evening, students. So last class we were talking about demand, okay, and the law of demand as well as exceptions to the law of demand. So today we will be discussing about normal goods. So what is normal goods all about? Here, normal goods refer to those goods whose demand increases with increase in demand. Okay, so you need to remember that what is normal good. Normal goods are those goods whose demand increases with increase in increase in income. So if a person's income will increase, the demand for normal goods will also increase. Fine. Okay, but in the market you will not find any normal goods. Okay, there is nothing like normal goods. But whenever we talk about here normal goods, like the types of goods, here when you'll go to the market and buy something, anything, okay, so here if the person's income will increase, the demand for normal goods will increase. And that's why it says that there is a direct relationship between demand of a normal good and income of a person. So there is a direct relationship. Okay, why direct relationship? Because when income will increase, the demand for normal goods will also increase. Fine. And opposite to that, we have inferior goods. And again, like you will not find in the market, there is no kind of inferior goods. Okay, वैसा कुछ नहीं है कि inferior goods आप जाओगे मार्केट में बोलोगे कि मुझे inferior goods चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं मिलता inferior goods चाहिए. ठीक है, inferior goods क्या होता है? मान लो like today your income is 20,000. Okay, today your income is 20,000 and you are eating the rice, okay, the quality of rice जिसका आपका price per kg 20 rupees है. ठीक है, मान लो कि और कल को नेक्स्ट मंथ आपका सैलरी बढ़ गया है, 50,000 हो गया है. ठीक है, वो 20 रुपीज़ का चावल बहुत अच्छा है, वेरी गुड क्वालिटी, लेकिन आपका सैलरी बढ़ गया, इसीलिए आपने क्या किया, अभी यू हैव शिफ्टेड. ओके, आपने क्या किया, अभी 30 रुपीज़ का चावल आप खाने लग गए, 30 रुपीज़ का चावल आप यूज़ करने लग गए. ठीक है, तो इसमें वो 20 रुपीज़ का चावल इन्फेरियर नहीं है, लेकिन जस्ट बिकॉज योर इनकम हैज़ इंक्रीज, आपने वो 20 रुपीज़ का चावल को यूज़ करना बंद कर दिया एंड यू हैव स्टार्टेड डिमांडिंग फॉर द चावल, द राइस 30 रुपीज़ का. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड? वो 20 रुपीज़ का चावल वो पर्सन के लिए क्या हो गया, इन्फेरियर हो गया. लेकिन आपको बाज़ार में ऐसा इन्फेरियर गुड्स वगैरह ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द पर्सनस इनकम. सो यहाँ पे इन्फेरियर गुड्स, यहाँ पे कौन सा हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि वेन एवर अ पर्सनस इनकम विल इंक्रीज, देन inferior goods demand will decrease. Okay, am I clear to you? So what is inferior good? Inferior goods are those goods whose demand will decrease with increase in income. तभी हो जाएगा आपका वो inferior goods. ठीक है, आपका income जब बढ़ने से आपका goods का demand जब कम हो जाएगा, वो जो goods का आपका demand कम हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा आपका inferior goods. Fine. और नॉर्मल गुड्स कौन सा हो गया, व्हेन योर इनकम विल इंक्रीज, विद दैट द डिमांड फॉर नॉर्मल गुड्स विल आल्सो इंक्रीज. दैट इज योर नॉर्मल गुड्स. फाइन. एंड इन्फेरियर गुड्स इज दिस. ओके, एंड यू नीड टू रिमेंबर दैट देयर इज एन इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन इनकम एंड डिमांड फॉर एन इन्फेरियर गुड. ठीक है, इन्फेरियर गुड में डिमांड और इनकम का क्या रिलेशनशिप है, इनवर्स. एंड इन केस ऑफ नॉर्मल गुड्स the relationship is direct. There is a direct relationship because income बढ़ने से आपका demand भी बढ़ जाएगा. Am I clear? समझ में आया? आया कि नहीं? Okay. Now we'll move on to elasticity of demand. Okay, elasticity of demand. Elasticity. So here, this elasticity word has come from elastic. ठीक है, इलास्टिक से आया है आपका. इलास्टिक क्या, आपने इतना छोटा सा इलास्टिक खरीदा, उसको आप ऐसे खींचोगे तो इतना सा बढ़ जाएगा, रिस्पॉन्स इतना देगा ना, ऐसे हो जाएगा, है कि नहीं? दैट इज़ योर इलास्टिक. सो दैट वर्ड हैज़ कम फ्रॉम come in. That word has come from your, yes, elastic. So that is elasticity of demand. ठीक है? So आपका responsive, that is your responsive, आपका कितना मतलब response करता है of one variable to changes in other variable. So elasticity indicates the responsiveness of one variable to changes in other variable. एक variable change होने के वजह से other variable में क्या change आता है, that is called elasticity. And elasticity of demand means what? Elasticity of demand means आपका प्राइस चेंज होने के वजह से डिमांड आपका कितना चेंज होता है. व्हेन प्राइस विल इंक्रीज और प्राइस विल डिक्रीज, व्हाट विल हैपन टू डिमांड? कितना ऊपर जाएगा डिमांड या कितना नीचे जाएगा डिमांड, या डिमांड कितना वही का वही रहेगा क्या? दैट इज योर इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड. ठीक है? सो इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड मीन्स रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस ऑफ डिमांड, ओके, टूवर्ड्स व्हाट? चेंज इन प्राइस. आपका प्राइस चेंज होने के वजह से आपका डिमांड कितना परसेंटेज में चेंज होगा. ठीक है? सो कितना चेंज होगा? ऊपर जाएगा, नीचे जाएगा, कितना होगा, या चेंज नहीं होगा, या उतना ही रहेगा. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड योर इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड ऑल अबाउट. ओके, सो इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड इज द रेशियो बिटवीन द परसेंटेज चेंज इन डिमांड एंड परसेंटेज चेंज इन प्राइस. सो we can say ED equal to the percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in price. So we can write elasticity of demand this way: ED equal to percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in price. So we can also write this as ED equal to change in Q divided by change in P into P by Q. Okay, so this is the formula to calculate elasticity of demand or elasticity of price. Change in Q divided by change in P, okay, into P by Q. Q is your quantity demand, P stands for price, okay, into P by Q. So this way we can calculate elasticity of demand. So in the examination, okay, so there will be one MCQ you will find to calculate elasticity of demand. So your initial price and the new price will be given, or maybe like initial demand and new demand will be given, and you are required to calculate elasticity of demand. Okay. So we will be solving the questions in the next class, how to calculate elasticity of demand. So you have written the formula? Okay. Now next one, degrees or types of price elasticity of demand. Okay. So here perfectly elastic demand. Okay, perfectly elastic demand where EP is equal to infinite. Perfectly elastic demand where EP, that is elasticity of price, is equal to infinite. Right? Perfectly elastic demand. Perfectly elastic, उसका मतलब क्या है आपका? Perfectly elastic मतलब प्राइस चेंज होने के वजह से, लिटिल प्राइस चेंज, थोड़ा सा प्राइस चेंज होने के वजह से आपका डिमांड मतलब बहुत ही चेंज हो गया, डिमांड मतलब बढ़ गया है. दैट्स व्हाई इट सेज परफेक्टली. ये तो पॉजिटिव है ना, परफेक्टली इलास्टिक. इलास्टिक मतलब क्या? चेंज. तो आपका वेरिएबल के वजह से, प्राइस के वजह से आपका डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा चेंज हो गया. दैट इज योर परफेक्टली इलास्टिक डिमांड. सो हियर द कीवर्ड्स आर राइट. with the price remain constant. Okay, if there is a change in demand, it is said to be perfectly elastic demand. It means that demand may increase or decrease without change in price. Here the value of EP is infinity. The demand curve in this case is parallel to OX axis. So how the demand curve will be here? This is your O, this is X axis, this is Y axis. Okay, so here the demand curve is, how is the demand curve here in case of your perfectly elastic demand? The demand curve is parallel to OX axis. So this is your demand curve, dt. Fine. So this you need to remember that, like how is the shape of demand curve in case of perfectly elastic demand. Okay, so in case of perfectly elastic demand, the demand curve is parallel to OX axis. Fine. So here with no change in the price remain constant, or little change in the price will lead to change in demand to infinity. So that is your perfectly elastic demand. So EP is equal to infinite. Clear? Okay. Now next is perfectly inelastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand. This is done. Perfectly inelastic demand. So here perfectly inelastic. Inelastic means what? No change. No change. Elastic means change. Okay? Inelastic means no change. So perfectly inelastic. Inelastic का word आ जाए मतलब कोई change नहीं है. That means EP is equal to 0. That you need to remember. Perfectly inelastic demand. Inelastic, no change. That means EP is equal to 0. So with the change in price, जब price आपका change होगा, तब क्या होगा इसमें? If there is no change in demand, it is said to be perfectly inelastic demand. आपका जब price change होगा, ठीक है, price change होने के वजह से भी आपका क्या हो रहा है कि demand में कोई change नहीं है. There is no change in demand. Okay, so that is called perfectly inelastic demand. आपका demand वही है, demand में कोई change नहीं है. That is your perfectly inelastic demand. That means that price may increase or decrease, but the demand is constant. Here the value of EP is 0. And in this case, the demand curve is parallel to OY axis. Parallel to OY axis. So this is Y axis, this is X axis. So your demand curve is this. Okay, so this is parallel to OY axis. So why that is so? If there is change in salt, if there is change in any medicine, life-saving medicine, even if the price will go up, we will definitely go and buy. ठीक है, नमक का प्राइस बढ़ जाए फिर भी हम लोग खरीदेंगे, क्योंकि नमक स्वाद देता है ना, है कि नहीं? So example can be salt. That means we can say the in case of your necessity goods. Necessity goods, आपका बीमार हो रहा है, इसका दाम ज़्यादा है, फिर भी we will go and buy, right? This is in case of your necessity goods. आपका प्राइस चेंज भी होगा, ओके? यहाँ पे with the change in price आपका क्या होगा? But the demand is constant, right? This you remember. In case of perfectly inelastic demand, EP is equal to 0 and demand curve is parallel to OY axis. Fine. And in case of your perfectly elastic demand, EP is equal to infinite and demand curve is parallel to OX axis. Now next one is relatively elastic demand. EP is greater than 1. EP is greater than 1. So if the proportionate change in demand, is more than, okay? If the proportionate change in demand is more than proportionate change in price, जो परसेंटेज में आपका प्राइस चेंज हो रहा है उससे ज़्यादा परसेंटेज में आपका डिमांड इज चेंजिंग। ठीक है, आपका मान लो कि आपका प्राइस चेंज 10% हो रहा है, लेकिन डिमांड में भी 20% हो रहा है, 30% हो रहा है, सो मोर, राइट? So if the proportionate change in demand is more than proportionate change in price, it is said to be relatively elastic demand. Change हो रहा है, there is change. Elastic मतलब there is change, but relatively elastic demand means proportionate change in demand is more than proportionate change in price. Okay? It means a little change in the price. थोड़ा सा प्राइस चेंज होने के वजह से more change in demand. Here the value of EP is greater than 1. The demand curve in this case slopes downward from left to right. So demand curve will be like this, left to right. Then now next, relatively inelastic demand. Relatively inelastic, where EP is less than 1. Elasticity of demand or price is less than 1. If the proportionate change in demand is less than proportionate change in price, it is said to be relatively inelastic demand. It means more change in price. आपका change price का जो change हो रहा है, that percentage is more, okay, more than the change in demand, leads to less change in demand. Okay, it means more change in the price leads to less change in demand. The demand curve in this case slopes downward from left to right, but is steeper than relatively elastic demand. It also slopes downward from left to right, but it is steeper. This word you remember, steeper than relatively elastic demand. Fine. Steeper, you can see in point number 4. Something like this. Okay. Now next, the last one, that is unitary. Unitary, the word suggesting this you remember. Unitary means here 1. So EP is equal to 1. ठीक है, आपका प्राइस चेंज का जो परसेंटेज प्रोपोर्शनेट जो चेंज हो रहा है, डिमांड का भी वैसा ही उतना ही हो रहा है, इक्वल. ओके, सो प्रोपोर्शनेट चेंज इन द डिमांड इज इक्वल टू द proportionate change in price. Equal, this you need to remember. If the proportionate change in the demand is equal to the proportionate change in price, that is called unitary elastic demand. It means the change in the demand and change in price are same. So here the value of EP is 1. Fine. So generally comfort goods have unitary elastic demand. The demand curve also slopes downward here from left to right, but is rectangular. This you remember. So how it looks like rectangular hyperbola. This you remember. It also slopes downward from left to right, but it looks like your rectangular hyperbola. something like this, demand curve. It also slopes downward from left to right, but it's like rectangular hyperbola. So that you remember, rectangular hyperbola, that word you try to remember. Fine? Understood? Okay. Now we'll move on to, we are talking about that day about utility. Okay? So utility is what? One satisfying power of a commodity. So what is total utility all about here? Total utility, which you can write as TU. It is the total amount of satisfaction obtained by the consumer by the consumption of total units of a thing. Okay? So suppose you have consumed apple. Okay? The first unit, you first unit. Okay? So you will get some satisfaction. Then again you will have second unit, you will have some satisfaction. Okay? So the total, when you will consume the total units, when you will consume whatever the satisfaction you will be getting it, and when you will add all these, you will get total utility. So total utility is what? Total amount of satisfaction obtained by the consumer by the consumption of total units of a thing. Fine? The next is marginal utility. So marginal utility is what? Marginal utility is what? Additional utility obtained by the consumer by the consumption of additional unit of a thing or more unit of a thing. The change in the total utility is also called, marginal utility. So here in page number 35, there is one example given. Suppose this is your unit, this is total utility, this is your marginal utility. The units are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total utility here is given 40, 70, 90, 100, 100 and 90. Okay. So when you are consuming, here you can see, when suppose you are consuming, okay, 1 unit of apple. So when you are consuming 1 unit of apple, your total utility is 40. Okay, your satisfaction is 40. So in this case, your marginal utility will also be 40. And here, see, what is marginal utility all about? Marginal utility is additional utility obtained by the consumer by consuming additional unit. आपका additional unit क्या है? 1. आपने एक एप्पल खाया, तब आपका total utility 40. आपने फिर 2 यूनिट खाया, your total utility is 70. आपका additional utility is what? Additional utility is this one. Earlier it was 40, now it's 70. So it will be 70 minus 40, so it will be 30. Okay? So एक additional unit consume करने के वजह से आपका additional utility जो हो रहा है, आपका जो additional utility हो रहा है, so that is called your marginal utility all about. Fine? और marginal utility को आप जब when you will add marginal utility, आपको total utility मिल जाएगा. 40 plus 30 you will get 70. Fine? And here You tell me here what will be the marginal utility in this case in third unit. It will be 20. So 90 minus 70, it will be 20. Then next 100 minus 90, it will be 10. Then 100 minus 100, it will be 0. Then 90 minus 100, it will be, yes, minus 10. So this is your marginal utility all about, and this way we can calculate total utility and marginal utility if it's given. Fine. Suppose this is not given. Suppose this is not given. 90 is not given. You are required to calculate. So how will you calculate? How will you calculate? This is given. So 40 plus 30, 70, 70 plus 20, here it will be 90. Okay? So this 90 plus, again 10, it will be 100. Fine? Understood? So 100 plus 0, it will be 100. Okay? Understood? So this way you can calculate. So that's why we can say here, it is the total amount of satisfaction obtained by the consumer by the consumption of total units of a thing. And the change in total utility. So whatever is the change in total utility, यहाँ पे change क्या है? पहला था 740, अभी 70 हो गया. Change कितना हुआ है? 30. So change in total utility is the marginal utility. Okay? So change in total utility is the marginal utility. So now we'll see law of diminishing marginal utility. Now you know what is marginal utility all about, right? Marginal utility मतलब क्या है? आप एक कुछ भी मतलब सामान आप you consume और additionally when you keep on consuming, जो additional आपका utility होगा वो होगा आपका marginal utility. Okay? Fine? And diminishing means what? Diminishing मतलब कम होते जाना. Right? So law of diminishing marginal utility, what is it all about? So this law of diminishing marginal utility was firstly propounded by, that you need to remember, H.H. Gossen in 1854. Okay, so that's why it is called as Gossen's first law of consumption. Which law is called as the Gossen's law of consumption? If that question will come, which law is called as the law Gossen's first law of consumption? That is called your law of diminishing marginal utility. So according to this law, when a person goes on increasing the consumption of any one commodity, इसका मतलब क्या है? एक आदमी है जो कोई भी एक commodity उसको मतलब consume करते जा रहा है, keep on consuming, ठीक है? Keep on consuming. The additional utility, जो आपका additional utility होगा, derived from the additional units, goes on diminishing. मान लो कि आप first apple खाया, आपको बहुत भूख लग रहा था, first apple खाया, that will give you maximum, that will give you satisfaction, बहुत अच्छा लगेगा आपको खा के. फिर second वाला आपने खाया, आपको मन कर रहा है, फिर आपको वो utility देगा, अच्छा utility, additional utility जो होगा आपका अच्छा होगा. लेकिन आप जितना ज़्यादा खाते जाओगे, जितना ज़्यादा आप consume करते जाओगे, your marginal utility will go on decreasing. So that is the statement, is all about your law of diminishing marginal utility. So when a person goes on increasing the consumption of any one commodity, the additional utility derived from the additional unit goes on diminishing. Okay? So it is called law of diminishing marginal utility. And you remember about H.S. Gossen, and the year, remember, 1854, and it is also called as your Gossen's first law of consumption. Okay? Clear? And the assumptions of law of diminishing marginal utility are the units are homogeneous, the unit must be of reasonable size, shape, quality, color. The units must be of reasonable size, okay, shape, quality and color. And there is no changes in the taste and preferences of the consumer. So these are the assumptions of your law of diminishing marginal utility. Done? Understood? Understood? Okay. Now what is supply? Next, what is supply? Okay. So supply is, we can say, the goods which are goods produced by producers and those goods are ready to sell in the market. ठीक है? इतना goods है आपका, producer ने produce किया है, ठीक है? So all these goods are ready to sell in the market, that is called supply. मान लो कि इतना सारा प्रोड्यूस किया है, उनमें से ये जो आपका रेडी नहीं है सेल करने के लिए, ऑल टोटल दिस इज कॉल्ड स्टॉक, ऑल टोटल दिस इज कॉल्ड स्टॉक. लेकिन जो रेडी है, रेडी टू सेल इन द मार्केट, दैट इज कॉल्ड योर सप्लाई. ओके, द गुड्स produced by the producers and ready to sell in the market by the seller or maybe the producer, that is called your supply all about. Fine? So supply, the goods which are supplied by the supplier, that is called supplied by the supplier, that is called your supply all about. Fine? Okay. Now what are the determinants of supply? Okay, what are the determinants of supply? So you have to think from the point of view of supplier. You think that you are a supplier. Okay, when will you supply more? What are the determinants of supply? That means when will you supply more? मान लो कि आपका खुद का शॉप है, मान लो कि आप खुद प्रोड्यूसर हो, ओके, मान लो कि यू आर द मैन्युफैक्चरर, यू आर द होलसेलर, यू आर द रिटेलर, यू हैव योर ओन शॉप, यू आर द शॉपकीपर. तो आपका डिटर्मिनेंट्स क्या होगा? प्राइस ऑफ द गुड्स. ठीक है, प्राइस ऑफ द गुड्स. दैट मीन्स आपका मार्केट में प्राइस इज इंक्रीजिंग, मार्केट में प्राइस ज़्यादा हो रहा है, उस टाइम पे आप सप्लाई ज़्यादा करोगे या कम? उस टाइम पे हाँ, मान लो कि आप आलू का बिजनेस करते हैं, अभी आलू का बहुत मतलब प्राइस ज़्यादा हो रहा है, तो आप सप्लाई करोगे या नहीं करोगे? या सप्लाई बंद करोगे? करोगे. क्यों? क्योंकि आपको अभी वही मौका है आपको पैसा कमाने का, प्रॉफिट कमाने का, है कि नहीं? सो यू हैव टू थिंक फ्रॉम द सप्लायर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. प्राइस ऑफ गुड्स, व्हेन प्राइस ऑफ द गुड्स विल इंक्रीज, सप्लाई विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज, है कि नहीं? सो प्राइस जब ज़्यादा होगा, सप्लाई भी ज़्यादा होगा. सो व्हेन प्रोड्यूसर्स विल सप्लाई मोर गुड्स इफ द प्राइस आर हाई, एंड वाइस वर्सा. प्राइस कम होगा इफ द प्राइस ऑफ गुड्स विल बी लेस, the supplier will supply less. Okay, so price of the goods. So when you are talking about supply, you have to think from the point of view of supplier. मैं एक supplier हूँ, उसके हिसाब से आपको सोचना पड़ेगा. प्राइस बढ़ रहा है तो आप भी सप्लाई करोगे ना, क्योंकि उसी टाइम में आपको मौका मिल रहा है टू अर्न मनी, टू अर्न प्रॉफिट. देन गोल्स ऑफ द फर्म. आपका फर्म का गोल क्या है? ठीक है, आपका फार्म का गोल क्या है? यू सी दिस पॉइंट हियर. फर्म्स में ट्राई टू वर्क ऑन वेरियस गोल्स. अलग अलग फर्म का आपका अलग अलग, पेज नंबर 37, ओके, इन द स्टडी मटेरियल. अलग अलग फर्म का आपका अलग अलग क्या है? गोल्स है ना. एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एवरी फर्म हैव डिफरेंट गोल्स. For example, profit maximization, sales maximization, employment maximization. If the objective is to maximize profit, the higher the profit from the sale of a commodity, the higher will be the quantity supplied by the firm and vice versa. ठीक है? It depends upon the goal of the firm. मान लो कि goal of the firm is profit maximization. ठीक है? Profit maximize करना है, तो आप क्या करोगे? You will try to sell more. You will try to sell more, right? So also it also depends upon the firm's goal. ठीक है? ज़्यादा सप्लाई करेंगे, ज़्यादा सेल होगा, तो ज़्यादा आपको पैसा मिलेगा, प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन. ओके? When you want to make more profit, you will sell more. That means you will supply more. है कि नहीं? Okay. Now input prices. Input prices means we are talking about labor. Okay, we are talking about material. Okay, we are talking about machines. Okay, so input, or we can say the factors of production. So input का price क्या है? आपका labor जब cheap होगा, materials का price आपका cheap होगा, machines का price जब कम होगा, that means input prices are less. The price of raw material is less. The price of, you know, the remuneration given to the labor is less. At that case, what you can do, you will be able to produce more at less price, so you will be able to supply more, right? When input prices will be less, that means your cost of production will be less. When input prices will be less, cost of production will be less. So when cost of production will be less, then the price of your you will be produce more goods, more of goods. So when cost of production will be less, you will be able to produce more of goods. आप ज़्यादा goods produce कर पाओगे. So when you will be able to produce more goods, you will be able to supply more goods. That you remember. When the input prices will be less, the cost of production will be less. So when cost of production will be less, then you do not have to, being a supply, you do not have to invest more money. So you will be able to produce more goods. So when you will be able to produce more goods, you will be able to supply more goods, and vice versa. Input prices कम हो, ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, तो आप क्या करोगे? Produce कम कर पाओगे. Produce कम मतलब क्या? Production कम मतलब supply भी कम. Now next is technology. ठीक है? Next is technology. अब मान लो कि आप बहुत हाई टेक टेक्नोलॉजी, अपडेटेड टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ कर रहे हो, तो प्रोड्यूस ज़्यादा कर पाओगे या कम? ज़्यादा, है कि नहीं? सो इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग अपडेटेड टेक्नोलॉजी, then you'll be able to produce more, right? In that case, new technology will help to reduce the cost also, and with less time. आपका कॉस्ट भी कम होगा, कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन विल ऑल्सो बी लेस, आपको टाइम भी कम लगेगा. सो इसके वजह से योर कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन विल बी लोअर, एंड एट इम्प्रूव टेक्नोलॉजी एनहांसेस द सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स. आपका सप्लाई ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा. ठीक है? इफ़ इट्स आउटडेटेड टेक्नोलॉजी, आपका पुराना वो जो घिसा पिटा वही पुराना प्लांट मशीनरी यूज़ करोगे, आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन विल गो, आप टाइम ज़्यादा लगेगा, यू विल बी एबल टू प्रोड्यूस लेस, सो यू विल बी एबल टू supply less. Then government policy. Next is government policy. So government policy में आपका mainly आ रहा है आपका tax. ठीक है? So government tax लेगा या आपको subsidy देगा, मतलब कम rate में raw material देगा. ठीक है? So tax बढ़ा देगा. If government will charge higher tax on goods, then you will supply less. Right? You will produce less, you will supply less. And on the other hand, if government will give subsidy to producers, you will supply more. ठीक है? Subsidy. इन केस गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग सब्सिडी, गवर्नमेंट ने कोई स्कीम दे दिया आपको, सब्सिडी दे दिया, ठीक है, इंसेंटिव दे दिया, गवर्नमेंट बोल रहा है कि ये रॉ मटेरियल में आपको मतलब कम रेट लगा देंगे, गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग यू सब्सिडी जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर ए प्रोड्यूसर, ठीक है. सो इन दैट केस it will encourage, the government will encourage the producers to produce more, so supply will be more. Lekin if government will charge more taxes on the goods, it will discourage the producers to supply, that means produce less. Ultimately what will happen, supply will be less. Am I clear? Then number of producers in the market, number of producers in the market or number of farms. मान लो कि you are also a producer, you are also a producer, I am also a producer. Producers बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है, तो supply क्या होगा, कम होगा या ज़्यादा होगा, ज़्यादा होगा. Everybody is producing, everybody is ready to supply, right? So if more number of farms, if number of farms are more, ठीक है, so everybody will produce, everybody will supply goods in the market, right? So supply will be more. So if the number of producers or the farms will increase, okay, then supply will also increase and vice versa, okay. An increase in the number of farms increases the supply of farms and vice versa. Clear? Okay. Now next, expectation about future price, ठीक है, एक्सपेक्टेशन अबाउट फ्यूचर प्राइस. आपको अभी, यू आर ए प्रोड्यूसर, आपको अभी मालूम चला कि कल अनियन का प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा, तो आप आज क्या करोगे. आप मान लो कि आप वही आपका ग्रोसरी का शॉप है, आलू प्याज बेचते हो, कल मान लो कि 100 रुपीज़ हो जाएगा अनियन का प्राइस. अब आज क्या करोगे, अनियन को छुपा दोगे, छुपाओगे कि नहीं, क्योंकि कल बेचेंगे, आज कोई आएगा नहीं, नहीं आज तो है ही नहीं, ख़त्म ही हो गया. So if the producers expect an increase in the price of a commodity, then they will supply less at the present price, ठीक है. प्रेजेंट प्राइस में वो सप्लाई क्या करेगा, लेस करेगा, नॉट सप्लाई, उससे अभी ख़त्म ही हो गया, आने वाला है, रात को आएगा, ख़त्म हो गया पूरा. अभी आया था बहुत सारा ग्राहक, बहुत सारा कस्टमर आया, लेके चला गया, क्योंकि कल तो बढ़ने वाला है ना, इसीलिए ख़त्म हो गया है. फिर भी आप नहीं दोगे, ऐसे ही बोल दोगे कि कस्टमर आया था, लेकिन वो नया कस्टमर को क्या पता चला, कैसे पता चलेगा आया था कि या नहीं आया था, ठीक है नहीं. सो इफ the producers will expect that there will be increase in the price of a commodity, then they will supply less, ठीक है. और पता चलेगा कि कल कम हो जाएगा, तो आज ही एकदम they will try to supply more. The expectation है कि the price will be less, then at present price the supplier will be able to supply more. Understood? So you have to think from the point of view of the supplier. Supplier के point of view से आपको सोचना है, okay? Then it will be easier for you. Understood? Okay, you can write. पूजा का शॉपिंग हो गया, कपड़ा वपड़ा खरीद लिया, कहीं यहीं पे देखना है, बाहर जाना है, यहीं पे. कल आना है कि नहीं क्लास में, कल पूजा है, आओगे क्लास, नहीं आना है, कोई भी नहीं आएगा, कल तो क्लास होगा, ऐसे बोल रहे. पूजा देखना है. दिस इज डन. अंडरस्टूड. Now what is law of supply? Okay, before then that you tell me what is law of demand. What is law of demand? What is law of demand? Yes, law of demand says when price will decrease, demand will increase, okay, and when price will increase, demand will decrease. This is law of demand, ठीक है. Law of supply, you tell me क्या होगा when price will increase. हाँ, supply will आप सप्लायर हो, प्राइस ऊपर जा रहा है, no, supply, when price will increase, supply will hmm, increase, right? You have to think from the point of view of the supplier. When in law of demand says when price will increase, supply will, not demand, supply will also increase. When price will decrease, supply will also decrease. So there is a direct, in case of your law of demand, there is a direct relationship between price and supply. Okay? Fine? But in case of law of demand, there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. Okay, so in this case, price and demand, the relationship is what? Inverse. Okay, so here, price and supply, the relationship is what? Direct, right? When price will increase, supply will also increase, and when price will decrease, supply will also decrease. So there is a direct relationship between price and supply, direct. But here, in case of law of demand, when price will decrease, demand will increase, and when price will increase, demand will decrease. So there is a inverse relationship between price and demand. Okay, clear? That is your law of supply all about. Understood? Okay. So today what have you learned? Law of supply, clear, no? Okay. So you have learned about the determinants of supply. What are the determinants of supply? Price of goods. When price will increase, supply will also increase. Goals of the firm. Suppose if the goals of the firm is profit maximization, they will sell more, so supply will also be more. Input prices. When input prices will go up, supply will be less. When input prices will be less, supply will be more. Supply will be more. Then what is law of diminishing marginal utility? It says when a person goes on increasing the consumption of any one commodity, the additional utility derived from the additional unit goes on decreasing or diminishing. So that is law of diminishing marginal utility. And you remember about H.S. Gossen, you remember about 1854, and it is called as, that's why it is called as Gossen's first law of consumption. And this law is developed by Alfred Marshall, propounded by H.S. Gossen, but developed by Alfred Marshall. So now you know how to calculate marginal utility and total utility, right? So we'll see like how to calculate. Some numericals I'll be giving you. Just for the understanding, I have told you. Now you have understood what is marginal utility. Okay, additional utility derived from consuming additional unit of a commodity, right? What is marginal utility? Additional utility derived from consuming additional utility of a product. That is called marginal utility. And total utility is the total utility derived from consuming total unit of a product. Okay. Then we have talked about elasticity of demand. Okay, so the formula is ED equal change in Q divided by change in P into P by Q. And we can also write this way, percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in price. So there are various degrees to it. What are all those? Perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, then relatively elastic demand, relatively inelastic demand, unitary, fine. Inferior goods. So this you need to remember. Inferior goods, there is an inverse relationship between income and demand for an inferior good. ठीक है? So आपका when income will increase, okay, when income will increase, the demand for inferior goods will decrease. Okay? So there is an inverse relationship between income and demand for an inferior goods. But in case of normal goods, there is a direct relationship, right? Right? When a person's income will increase, the demand for normal goods will also increase. Okay? That you remember. Okay? I have given you the example. You try to remember about the example. आपका income बढ़ गया, इसके वजह से आपने क्या किया? जो सामान आप यूज़ कर रहे थे, उसका भी you are using a higher quality. ठीक है? That is for you that become an inferior good. वो आपका good inferior आपके लिए हो गया, मेरे लिए नहीं हो सकता. मेरे लिए मे बी मैं अभी भी वही 20 रुपीज़ का चावल ही खा रही हूँ मतलब. ठीक है? आपका इनकम बढ़ गया, इसीलिए आपने चेंज कर लिया, वो आपके लिए अभी इन्फेरियर हो गया, आप वो यूज़ नहीं करोगे, वो नहीं खाओगे, आपके लिए इन्फेरियर हो गया, लेकिन मेरे लिए तो नहीं, उनके लिए भी नहीं, उनके लिए भी नहीं, है कि नहीं? तो इन्फेरियर गुड्स का ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि सामान मिलेगा ऐसे, आपके लिए वो इन्फेरियर हो गया जस्ट बिकॉज योर इनकम हैज़ इंक्रीज, जस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव स्टार्टेड अर्निंग मोर. ठीक है? वो आपके लिए इन्फेरियर हो गया. मान लो कि अभी यू आर ड्राइविंग लाइक 5 lakhs का एक गाड़ी आप ड्राइव कर रहे हो, जैसे ही आपका इनकम बढ़ गया, यू हैव बॉट 10 lakhs का कार, वो 5 lakhs की गाड़ी आपके लिए अभी इन्फेरियर हो गया, लेकिन अभी भी आई एम ड्राइविंग 5 lakhs का, वो इन्फेरियर मेरे लिए नहीं है. गॉट इट? सो हियर इन्फेरियर गुड्स में क्या होता है? इन्फेरियर गुड्स में क्या होता है? व्हेन अ पर्सन's income will increase, the demand for inferior goods will decrease. That is inferior goods. So there is an inverse relationship between income and demand of inferior goods. और यहाँ पे direct relationship. आपका income बढ़ गया तो आपका demand for normal goods will also increase. Fine? Understood? Fine. So that's all for today. And in the next class we will see few numericals, how to calculate elasticity of demand, then we'll see how to calculate TU, total utility and marginal utility if questions are given. Fine? Clear? Understood? Okay. Fine then, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Understood, Mompi Sunual?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Attending the classes regularly?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Fine, thank you so much.